Is the legitimacy and should we take seriously the claims that Aston Villa are involved in a title challenge this season? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around the incredible story that is unravelling before our very eyes in England's top flight division right now, and that is Unai Emery's Aston Villa. So far, Villa have accumulated 35 points from their opening 16 games of the season, and as we edge closer towards that halfway point of the campaign, many people are starting to maybe gather the opinion that maybe, just maybe, an incredible Leicester-like season could be on the cards, with Villa being challengers or outside challengers to the Premier League title. We're going to be talking about Unai Emery and Aston Villa and everything else in between, but before we go any further, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And of course, get involved in the comment section. I'm sure I have a lot of interesting thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for interesting and great reading down below, so do get involved down there. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Aston Villa and a potential title challenge, which seems to be a snowballing story week after week. Look, Aston Villa have been absolutely incredible this season. Absolutely incredible. And Unai Emery in particular deserves massive amounts of credit for what he has managed to do and achieve during his just over a year stay at Villa. He has been absolutely incredible for what he walked into with obviously the previous era under Steven Gerrard, if you can call it an era. But obviously what he had to adopt, what he had to walk into. He's done a phenomenal job in 2023 with Aston Villa. And like I say, so far this season, they have been incredible to watch. Villa have played some great football. Villa have won big games. They've won some important games at that. And they currently sit a point behind Arsenal in second and 2 points behind league leaders Liverpool, whilst also being ahead of Manchester City in the table. Unai Emery deserves a massive amount of credit and praise for what he's managed to achieve. He has been the puppet master. He has been the brains behind the operation. He's been the mastermind behind Aston Villa's rise so much this season. He has been incredible. What he's managed to achieve with Villa has been nothing short of insane and phenomenal. He has turned Villa Park into an incredible fortress. In 2023, I think they're something like the second or third best team at home. I do apologise. I think it's the third, but it might be like joint second, joint third, or something along them lines. Best team at home throughout the course of 2023. In the past 15 Premier League games, they are unbeaten. They have won the last 15 games at home. 17 if you include all competitions, and particularly the Europa Conference League, which, by the way, they are doing exceptionally well in as well, and they are probably going to be the big favourites to go on and win that competition as well. So, and especially when you've got a manager like Unai Emery with that kind of European pedigree as well, and the know-how and the knowledge of winning big European competitions, this could be a fantastic season in the making for Aston Villa in terms of that aspect. But when you look back at the league situation, could Champions League football be on the cards? I mean, if they are to go on and win the Europa Conference League, that will at least guarantee them in the Europa League for next season, if obviously all things do go a bit pear-shaped for them towards the end of the campaign, but they manage to keep their heads in Europe. But depending on where they finish up this season, it could be anywhere. They could genuinely break into that top four and therefore be within the Champions League for next season. Or they could fall out slightly and maybe have to go up through the gears from Europa Conference League to the Europa League. Either way, it's been brilliant to watch Aston Villa so far this campaign, whether it's been in a European capacity or at a domestic capacity with their recent run of fixtures. Like I say, at home, Villa are incredible. They are unbeaten so far this season. They have won all of their games at home so far this season in England's top flight division. Absolutely incredible stuff by Unai Emery's side. Away from home, it's not the best. It's rather mediocre. Away from home, I think they are like 9th in the form table when they are away from home. That area can do with some work. And that's a big part as to why I think these claims that a title challenge may be on are a little bit premature. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of dreaming about an unlikely outsider winning the Premier League title. If it wasn't obviously my own team of Liverpool, of course, who are currently sat top of the table. Just thought I'd get that in there. But no, like I say, when it comes to an outsider like Aston Villa, a team that has been floundering a little bit. Obviously, they floundered a little bit in the Championship for a while, for a few years. Came back into the Premier League, started to build and climb, and then everything was seemingly going a bit downward spiral when Gerrard took over and things didn't quite go his way. And then Unai Emery takes over, and I think a lot of people, when Unai Emery took over, instantly looked to his time at Arsenal and thought, this guy's not cut out for this league. This guy's not cut out for this league. He couldn't do it at Arsenal. How is he going to do it at Aston Villa? It will be an average. It might be a great managerial appointment, but for a club like Aston Villa, there may be a ceiling. There may be a ceiling, and that ceiling is possible challenging for European football, but not getting any higher. So far during this campaign, like I say, we're heading towards the midway point of the season. The calls, the opinions, the thoughts, they're all spiraling out of control to point towards the direction that maybe, just maybe, Aston Villa could have aspirations above challenging for any kind of European football place, and may actually be in the Champions League for next season, may actually be title contenders for either this campaign or maybe in future campaigns to come, if this is obviously the kind of platform that Emery's going to set for himself to build upon for season after season. Emery's reign has been nothing short of incredible so far, and we're only 1 year into it. If he can get more players, if he can get a stronger depth in that, stronger depth in terms of quality and quantity within that Aston Villa setup, who knows where he could take this Aston Villa side. This Villa side have been brilliant so far, under his reign as manager. And like I say, I still think there's a bit of work to be done. I still think away from home, they are a little suspect. Their high line doesn't quite suit certain teams, especially away from home. They were somewhat fortunate in a couple of games. Like, I saw them against Tottenham. They didn't look particularly great. They were away from home, and they still managed to get the job done and win games. And I will always praise a team for not playing well, but still managing to grind out a result, as I've done so often for the likes of Arsenal and my own club of Liverpool, and even Manchester City down the years. But I still think there is a lot of work to be done. And especially when it comes to Aston Villa, I still think their squad depth is a little suspect and a little shaky if injuries do occur for them. I know you can say that about any and every team, but Aston Villa haven't exactly been in this situation before where they are in talks for a title challenge. I do wonder about the quality of the depth that they have. I do worry about not in terms of the quality, but the pressure as well that will bring with it. If Unai Emery can manage it and the players can manage it and sort of just take it game by game, anything certainly is possible this season. Especially when you look around and you look at Liverpool, who are not quite fully firing on all cylinders. Neither are Arsenal. And of course Manchester City, who have had a bit of a wobble in recent weeks, including of course losing to Aston Villa away from home. So Villa have got a lot to be positive about, but they've also got a fair bit as well to worry about. And it's not just about the pressure, it's not just about the squad depth, it's not just about the potential injuries that also could come about. But for me as well, I think there will also come a time where Emery will have to put his eggs into one particular basket. I don't think Villa right now have the capabilities, the talent, the quality, the depth to challenge on multiple fronts. And I think there is a very good opportunity here for Villa to maybe get good case of European football, whether it be Europa League, or Champions League for next year, whilst also getting a trophy. A title challenge for me may be a step too far this season, and it may be a more media-driven thing, but of course, with it being a pretty trending topic right now, I thought like I had to just put my 2 cents into the mix and just give my thoughts on what I think and feel about Aston Villa, because I've been a huge admirer of Emery and Villa for a while. I even said during the summer, are Aston Villa going under the radar? A video that did actually pretty well by my current way of going. But I basically said, like, Emery is a quality coach. He's a great manager. He's got brilliant pedigree wherever he's been. Even when you look at the Arsenal side that was coming out of the Arsene Wenger era, he still managed to take them to a Europa League final. Now, he didn't win it, of course, but the Europa League has been something that has made him quite the name in world football. Obviously, revolutionised Valencia, won 3 on the bounce in that competition with Sevilla, and of course won it with Villarreal, the first European trophy that they've won against Manchester United. Unai Emery has done fantastic in Spain, and that's where I said before about how I feel like people looked at his Arsenal career, saw how badly it ended, and said this league may not be for him, but he's obviously changed the opinions of many people around. Myself, though, I looked at it and said, I like what Emery's building. I like the way he's going about his business. I like the end to the season that Villa had, how difficult they were to beat, how good they were going forward, how defensively strong they were as well. All of that was looking pretty solid from Aston Villa's point of view. And then you add on top of that the signings that they've made, the likes of Pau Torres, obviously knows Unai Emery a lot, looks like a very strong and very capable soldier to have within your defensive ranks. You bring in Yuri Tielemans. A lot was made of him a few years ago. Not so much in Leicester's final season in the Premier League. A lot of people said he downed tools, and a lot of people said he just wasn't that good anymore. He just was like a bit of a flash in the pan sort of thing. But look at the way that, even though he's sort of a bit part player right now, look at the way he's being utilised, and look at how important and influential he is in that squad. And then, of course, you've got Moussa Diaby. Brings the skill, brings the flair, brings the pace, brings the dynamite that can launch a counter-attack, can help with the attack, can help link up play with Ollie Watkins. He's been brilliant since his arrival, and we're only just getting started with him because this is his first season, obviously, in English football with Aston Villa. Add them on top of the players that Emery has already got cooking right now. Douglas Luiz is one of the best DMs in the Premier League, probably outside of Rodri and Declan Rice, of course. He is probably one of the best up there beyond them two. John McGinn, fantastic in midfield. The defence is solid. Goalkeeper and Emi Martinez, he's had a brilliant past couple of years as Emi Martinez, whether it be on a domestic or international level. And of course, he's continuing to get better. Still has the odd mistake within him, but all goalkeepers do, I guess. So he's been doing brilliant. And of course, Ollie Watkins somewhat goes under the radar a little bit. I think somewhat gets a little bit of flack and a little bit of banter thrown his way from rival fans that probably don't get to see him week in, week out. Yes, he does miss the occasional easy chance, but I think he is a bit underrated in my personal opinion. And I love the way that he is playing under Unai Emery right now. I love the way that Emery's got him playing and got him scoring goals and being one of the more dangerous strikers that the Premier League has to offer. So there is a hell of a lot to be proud of if you're an Aston Villa fan. There's a lot to look at if you're a rival fan or even a neutral fan and admire about Aston Villa. And like I say, I genuinely did feel that at the time, Aston Villa were somewhat going a little bit under the radar in the summer, and that's obviously carried on into this season and has presented you with this question that we are talking about in this video. Are Aston Villa genuine title contenders? Like I said, in my opinion, I'm not entirely convinced. I still think there are better teams around them. I still think that the strength and depth just isn't quite there enough to mount a particular title challenge. I think away from home, their away form needs to be tidied up a little bit. And I do also think that the later the season goes on, if the pressure is to really get to them, if the level of intensity is to increase, will they crumble and crack under that pressure? Or will they decide to maybe go look at the bigger picture and maybe put their eggs more in a Europa Conference League basket? Maybe they go for an FA Cup, whatever or maybe they put all their eggs in a top 4 basket and go for Champions League football for next season. Either way, I'm very much interested to see the remainder of this story that goes on with Aston Villa. There's a lot of options that are available to the villains in this kind of scenario and in this campaign. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Unai Emery handles the pressure, handles the expectation, as well as obviously this incredible home unbeaten winning streak that they are currently on. Absolutely incredible stuff by Aston Villa. I look forward to seeing how it unfolds. Just hope they don't enjoy it too much at the expense of my own club of Liverpool. But there you have it. It's got to be said that Villa have been phenomenal so far this campaign. Absolutely brilliant to watch. And personally, for me, I look forward to seeing how the rest of their season pans out, to say the least. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this whole Aston Villa situation? Are they genuine title contenders this year? Or will they have to make do with maybe a trophy elsewhere or a top 4 finish? Top 6 finish? Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, but most of all, of course, your predictions down below in the comments section on this particular topic. I'm sure it'll make it interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for stopping by and watching. Have a good rest of your day. Speak to you all again soon. Take care.